Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims proudly presents the Time Travel League of Baseball. Today we go to Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland for a battle between the Sultans, 1920 stars for the most part. Don Sutton will take the bump against the Futurists led by Justin Verlander. And we'll give you the latest news in the Time Travel League of Baseball, which is the Futurists and Explorer. They both lead their respective divisions at 23 and 12. The worst teams right now are also in opposite divisions, the Niners and the Ironmen. The Niners are the 90s team for the most part, and the Ironmen are the 30s team at 11 and 24. Lou Gehrig is one of the strong points on this Ironman team with 378. He's leading all hitters. Walter Johnson of the Aces continues to lead in ERA with 1.54. Babe Ruth has assumed the lead in the home run race with 12, of course. RBI leaders still Stan Musial at 42. Wins leaders, both on the same team, the Futurists, Roy Halladay and Amos Russi, who is actually a turn of the century player. 19th into the 20th, but he is one of the travelers on the Futurists, and he has 6 wins, as does Roy Halladay. And we have a tie right now on the strikeout lead going into today's play, May 19th on the calendar. Walter Johnson and Amos Russi of both the Aces and the Futurists, respectively, they have 51 Ks going into today's play. Hank Aaron of the Wings has a 15-game hitting streak going. Now, if you're just new, think of this as the World Baseball Classic, but instead of nations, you have eras represented. And here is how everything looks. Yes, the dead ballers, they should just accept the typing on that. Ignore all. There we go. And the aces, the Sultans, the Ironmen, the Spitfires, the Wings, the Explorers of the 60s, Spirits of the 70s, the Stars of the 80s, the Niners of the 90s. The Pioneers represent the 19th century, and the Futurists represent the 21st century. If I do a season two, I'm going to have 14 teams. And we'll go into that if we do a season two, which we just might. The basic rules is all 40 players on the 40-man rosters are active and could play at any time, because I think action PC sports games in general, mainly baseball and football, they have trouble with rosters, picking the right members of the team. So I have all 40 players active, could play at any time. The 28 active players represents the eras of the teams they represent. But there are 12 travelers who, if they were not picked from their era, they could go play for any era's teams. There's also 5 players we keep inactive, but they could be called upon during the season. We use traditional baseball rules. We don't, with the exception of the DH, so the pitchers can last longer. We have 2 divisions of 6 teams each. With the teams, when I started this project, I randomly drew. They are Divisions A and Divisions B, and it's not not a promotion regulation lead. It's just the way I laid it out. 154 games. Each team plays the other 14 times. You multiply 11 by 14, you get 154. The division winners and the 2 wild card teams, the next best 2 teams that don't win a division. So, as Joe Morgan used to say all the time, this way you get the best 2 teams in the league. 4 teams make the playoffs. It's 2 simple rounds. Each round will be a best of 7. But we have a ways to go before we get to that, of course. And with that, let me welcome you to the lair of Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims here in unincorporated Lake County, Florida, just a little east of Leesburg. Big Paulie coming to you. So this should be an interesting game. You got a couple of common era post-war pitchers in Don Sutton and Justin Verlander. Of course, as I record this on May the 24th, it is the last day of spring training for most teams. So I'm trying to get this game done before noon. I just got the I have T-Mobile, so you get the Major League Baseball TV package for free. So you get the 28 teams. Like I live in Florida, of course, so I don't get the Rays and I don't get the Marlins, who are still working on TV deals, by the way. So I hope they will just offer the games over MLB.TV until those deals are set up because it's 2 days before the season, and a lot of fans of the Rays and the Miami Marlins don't know where to go to watch the games, which is a major cluster, you know what, as far as I'm concerned, opinion wise. So I get the 28 other teams with Major League Baseball. I don't think the Rays are going to have a good year, so I'm just going to just enjoy the other 28 teams. And when the games are broadcast over local networks, you get to watch those games over streaming. So, but the other games that are on networks, you have to watch it on their networks, like the Netflix game tomorrow between the Giants and the Yankees to open up the season in San Francisco. That's on Netflix. You're going to have to watch it on Netflix, but it will be available on delay on MLB.TV. And the Rays and Marlins games will be available on delay, which is fine because that'll free me up to watch another game at night, and I can watch the Rays in the morning because I'm on disability. So I'm kind of looking forward to all of that. And with that little brief explanation of the foibles of Major League Baseball on television, we will get our game started. And I'm on display feed. Good. It's going to be the Sultans and the Futurists from Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. I like to go through the lineups a little bit. Barry Bonds is injured, so I'm going to have to set the rosters. I'm going to have the computer set the rosters and bring up a 40th player. And we'll go through the lineups in a moment. Sometimes another flaw with the Action PC Baseball is if the game has to choose a DH, they will often pick someone because there's a lot of players on. See, I'm stuttering all over the place today. I'm like Stuttering John on the Howard Stern show. They won't pick the best possible DH, so I'm going to put Babe Herman on the Sultans. Like they'll pick a backup catcher, or they'll pick somebody who wouldn't be the best choice. So sometimes when I do these games for myself, and I try to do a game calendar day when I'm not doing the games on the channel, I like to just pick the best DH in there and get him in there.
Pitching for Futurists, Justin Verlander.
So let's go through the lineup for the Sultans. Frankie Frisch is at third base. He will bat leadoff. Brian Giles is the right fielder, a traveler. He is the number 2 hitter in right. Rogers Hornsby, the second baseman, bats third. The Sultan of SWAT, Babe Ruth, is your left fielder, batting fourth. Bill Terry, Memphis Bill, the first baseman, bats fifth. Hack Wilson, the center fielder, he bats sixth. Babe Herman, 0 for 7 so far in service for the Sultans. He is the DH, batting seventh. Alan Trammell, traveler, shortstop, bats eighth. Parrish, the catcher, I think that's Larry Parrish, he is batting ninth, and Doug Sutton is pitching. He can go 135 pitches. Defensively for the Futurists, Killebrew, a 4 and a 3 in left. He's not there for his glove, he's there for his bat. Jim Edmonds, a 10 and a 7 in center. Mookie Betts, a 10 and a 9 in right. Right is an 8 at third. A-Rod, a 7 at short. Alfonso Soriano is a 6 at second base. Albert Pujols, a 9 at first. Buster Posey, an 8 with a 7 arm at catching. And Verlander, a 7 fielder. Not a great defensive fielder, but how often that comes up is kind of a random element. Frankie Frisch leading off, only batting 192, but he has only seen 26 at bats, so maybe sample size will improve. And the Sultans are thinking it's going to be a bunt, but Frisch, a pop up to left, and Killebrew underneath it for the first out. Brian Giles has been a surprise on this Sultans team, a 324 batting average. 2 homers, 9 RBIs coming into the day. That's a grounder to shortstop, and A-Rod chokes on that. Giles will get the first base on the error. It brings up the Rogers Hornsby, 10 homers, 29 RBIs, and it hits 383 against righties, or should. A stolen base attempt, and Giles gets his second stolen base of the year. Count now 0-1 as we do one pitch here, try to get the games over with, and that's a base hit. A play at the plate does not score Brian Giles. Posey with the tag, Edmonds with the assist, and the score remains scoreless for the Bambino. Babe Ruth, 308, leading the league in home runs with 12, and ribbies, he has 30. OPS of 1.107. You would expect him to be +1. And Hornsby tries to steal second, so we'll see the Babe finishes at bat. Well, he'll get a brand new count in the second inning. So we have played the half inning and no score. So let's set the lineup for the Futurists. Best is leading off. Mookie Betts, he is in right field. Wright, the third baseman of the Mets for many a year. He is the number 2 hitter. Albert Pujols at the first sack. He bats third. A-Rod, the shortstop, batting fourth. Barry Bonds injured, so he is not in the lineup. That's why you're seeing Harmon Killebrew play left for the Futurists. Edmonds, the center fielder, bats fifth. Prince Fielder is the DH, batting sixth. Buster Posey, the catcher, batting seventh. Killebrew, the aforementioned left fielder, in eighth. Soriano at second base, batting ninth. And Verlander pitching. He went 8 pitches in the first inning and can go 120 or so, we think, unless he gets into trouble. Defensively for the Sultans, Roof is a 5 and an 8 in left. Wilson a 7 and a 5 in center. Giles a 7-6 in right. Frisch a 5 at third. Trammell a 9 at short. Hornsby a 6 at second. Terry a 9 at first. Parrish a 7 behind the plate with a 7 arm. And Don Sutton a 6 at the mound. Got roughed up in his first initial starts, 42 and 2/3 innings, and is pitching at an ERA of 6.54. He works the bats. It's a grounder to third, Frisch to Terry, and we have our first out at the bottom of the first. David Wright, 243. That's a K for Sutton. Obviously his first of the day. And that brings up Albert Pujols, 998 OPS, just a skosh below that magic 1 mark, and he has a base hit. He's at first base. That brings up A-Rod, 10 homers, 34 ribbies. His OPS at 976. Should be over 1. And that is a base hit. And it was Pujols who moved from first to third. A-Rod tried to go to second, and he got thrown out by the Bambino, Babe Ruth, in left. So we have now, that was the third out, so we've played an inning and we have no score. Speaking of the Babe, here he is. Batting 308. That's a K for Verlander. So Verlander can tell Kate Upton that he struck out the Babe in the Time Travel League. And here is Bill Terry. And that is skied the right center. Betts with the play. 2 outs now for Hack Wilson. And Wilson hits a grounder fair ball down the third base line, and Wilson's going to make it to second with a double. Babe Herman up. He's 0 for 7 with a walk. This is skied to right. And Betts at the warning track makes the putout. Nothing for the Sultans in the top of the second, so we'll go to the bottom of the second with no score. And Jim Edmonds is up hitting 291. A great glove. Seen many highlight plays for him over the years. And Edmonds has hit it to right long enough and deep enough. That is his 5th homer of the year, and it's 1-0. Prince Fielder, 266, 3 homers, 13 ribbies. And this is hit to left. Roof can't get to it. It's a foul ball. Fielder with a 1-2 count. Sutton gets in trouble and he walks. Let me just do a little quick check here on my sound because I need to cough for a moment, so I'm going to go off mic. And I'm back on. Good. Buster Posey. 158 on the year, but he has seen limited at bats, 19 of them. No homers, 3 ribbies. That's a K for Sutton, his second. Stat sheet already with a lot of marks on it for Sutton. 3 hits, 1 homer, 1 walk, 2 Ks, and now he faces Killebrew. He's only hitting 105, but that is hit well to left, and that will go. A homer for Killebrew, his second of the year. Correction, his third of the year. He's had 3 hits, and they have all been homers in his 20 at-bats. 3-0 in favor of the Futurists. Soriano up, 245, 4 homers, 16 ribbies. And that's going to be a base hit that's going to go all the way to the wall, and Soriano has a double. Poor play by Hack Wilson. And we go back to the top of the order, and Mookie Betts, who is 0 for 1. And this is Sky to left, and Roof will make the play. 2 outs now for David Wright, 0 for 1. And that's a strikeout for Sutton. But the damage done for the Futurists is they get 3 runs and take a 3-0 lead. Alan Trammell, 258. A Detroiter against a Detroiter here, as Verlander was for many years. Grounder right to Pujols for the first out. Sultans and the Futurists in the same division, and the Sultans are in a tie for second. Futurists leading the division, so we might see this Futurist team when we get to the playoffs. Lance Parrish. I called him Larry Parrish. My fault. 228. 5 homers and 17 ribbies. I knew it was an L Parrish. I just picked the wrong one. And Parrish is aboard with a walk. We go back to the top of the order, and Frankie Frisch, who is 0 for 1. Sky to left center, deep off the wall. Parrish is going to score. Frisch is going to move to third on a triple, and it's 3-1. Brian Giles 0 for 1. And this is a line drive right back to Verlander for the second out. And that's going to bring up Rogers Hornsby. Pitch to him is up the middle, a base hit. That's going to bring in Frisch. A 4 play by A-Rod, and it's 3-2. That brings up the danger man for this Sultan squad. The man that this team is named after, Babe Ruth. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Stolen base attempt, this time successful by Hornsby, his second of the year. See if Roof can get that duck in the pond in. He is safe on a play at first base. And Rodriguez not having a very good go of it. Runners at the corners with 2 outs for Bill Terry, who has a 13-game hitting streak. 0 for 1 today. And this is skied to right field, so that hitting streak not extended as Betts makes the play in right. 2 runs for the Sultans in the top of the third, and it's 3-2. Albert Pujols, 1 for 1 on the day, hitting .317. Nope, not a base hit, but Hornsby, maybe we jinxed him. He mishandles that. That is his 13th error of the season. Now, you get these early generation players when the gloves were not all that great. Hornsby, I did a game off camera where he made 3 errors in a game, so he is not really all that well with the glove. Got good range, but sometimes that mitt does not work the way he wants to. So if Pujols on, that's going to bring on A-Rod, 1 for 1. That's a grounder just past Trammell, and Pujols is going to make it to third. No, he is not, as Frisch tags him out. Another assist for Babe Ruth. So A-Rod will be at first for Jim Edmonds, who homered in his first at-bat. To Terry, and that sets off a 3-6-3 double play. So that ends the inning for the Futurists. We go to the top of the fourth, and it's 3-2. I lost my place for a second. And in baseball, that's kind of easy to do. Hack Wilson, 1-for-1. And he Ks. Babe Herman, 0-for-8 this season. And he gets on with a walk. Hero of the Brooklyn Dodgers back in this era. And by the way, the Futurists, when they play their home games, they play them at Ebbets Field, as the old Yankee Stadium went to the Wings. But we look at those assignments season by season. Alan Trammell, 256 right now, and is 0-for-1 today. Up the middle, a 6-4-3 double play. Ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth, and it's 3-2 still, Futurists. Sutton, 55 pitches so far through the first three. Verlander is 64 through his first four. Prince Fielder, no at-bats yet. And that's a K. K number 4 for Don Black and Decker Sutton. Buster Posey is 0-for-1. That's popped up, and Trammell will make the grab. 2 gone now for Harmon Killebrew, who homered in his first at-bat. He has 3 hits, and they have all been homers so far this season. And that is skied. Trammell will get to that 2, and the side is retired. And after 4, it's 3-2 Futurists. Parrish, that's Parrish, walked in his first at-bat, or has no official at-bats. 228 on the year. Maybe he erred, I don't know. And that's skied to center, and Edmonds with another highlight reel play for the first out. Frankie Frisch, 1-for-2. Grounder, base hit to right. He will stay at first. Mookie Betts with that solid arm. He's a stolen base threat, so I'm going to try to pick him off. No, nothing going. We'll try a pitch out. Tried to pitch out, but Frisch still beat the throw. A stolen base for Frisch, which will give him 3 on the year, I'm thinking, or 2. We'll know in a moment. Giles, a base hit to left center. That's going to go all the way to the wall, scoring Frisch. It was his second stolen base, and we have a brand new game at 3-3. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Sultans. 3 runs, 6 hits, and an error for the Futurists. So Giles at second on the double. It's Rogers Hornsby up. 2-for-2 today. And this is hit well to left. I think he's 3-for-3. That is off the wall. Giles will score 4-3. 8th double for the Raja. And what was his batting average to .322? Babe Ruth, 1-for-2. Base hit here might knock out Verlander. And he's going to be purposely passed to bring up Bill Terry, who's sliding a little lower at 296. Terry is 0-for-2 today, looking for that base hit to get him to a 14-game hitting streak. And it's not going to be there, as Wright retires a 5-3, moving the runners to third and second, or second and third, if you will. Roof is at second. Hornsby is at third. For Hack Wilson, hitting 253. And they're going to walk Wilson to get to the 0-for-8 Babe Herman, who was 0-for-1 today. Bases juiced. And that's a K for Verlander. He gets out of a jam. And we'll go to the bottom of the fifth. 2 runs for the Sultans for a 4-3 lead. Soriano, second baseman, 1-for-1 today, hitting 253. That's a base hit to left center. Roof will collect it. And it'll bring up Mookie Betts as we go to the top of the order. And a pickoff move by Sutton does not get Soriano. 0-for-2 today is Betts, and now he is 0-for-3, and that's a double play. Hornsby with the line drive, and he threw it to Terry and caught Soriano off base. So that's a double play, 2 outs for David Wright, as the Futurists looking for a run to tie it or more, and that is sky to left. I think that's going to be foul. It is. Count 2-2 to David Wright. 0-2, 239 average at the moment. Right to Frisch, over to first, side retired. At the end of 5, it's 4-3 in favor of the Sultans at 18 and 17. So Verlander up to 86 pitches. He faces Alan Trammell. A couple of Tigers coming up here. Rodriguez to Pujols, a 6-3 groundout for the first out. Lance Parrish is 0 for 1. And this is skied to left, and that is gone. A homer for Lance Parrish, number 6 on the year, and it's 5-3. And I am going to give Mr. Verlander the hook. Okay, so let's see. Switchy, lefty, lefty. We're going to try to put a lefty in. Johan Santana has been used, so I'm gonna choose between Hamill and Moyer, and I'm gonna go with Cole Hamels, former Philly.
Pitching for Futurists, Cole Hamels.
And he has not seen any action. And with 40 members on a team in the Time Travel League of Baseball, that is not too uncommon. We're gonna throw aggressively at Frisch. And it's a grounder. Pujols with the misplay. Second error of the game for the Futurists. That's going to bring up Brian Giles. 1 for 3, a double and a ribby. Rodriguez, Soriano, Pujols, a double play. 6-4-3, arrivederci. And it's only a 1-run inning for the Sultans, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th with the score 5-3. Pujols is up. 3-14, Albert. Prince Albert 1 for 2. And he is walked by Don Sutton to bring up A-Rod. And the Futurists looking for the A-bomb here. A-Rod has hit 10 of them so far this year. He's 2 for 2 today. And that's a K for Sutton, his 5th. Hamels, by the way, who came in relief in the 6th, can go 75 pitches. Sutton is at 92, could go, we think, 135. Jim Edmonds, the center fielder, hitting 296, 1 for 2 today. And this is sky to center. We have a tie game. Edmonds, with his second homer of the day, has tied it at 5-5. Burley Grimes will come in as Don Sutton has been knocked out.
Pitching for Sultans, Burley Grimes.
Grimes has a 7.04 ERA. You can work him. 30 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's 1-3. And Prince Fielder is going to be the first to face him. 0 for 1 today with that 264 average at the moment. And this is skied to the shortstop, Trammell, for the putout. Buster Posey is 0 for 2. Base hit to right, which Giles collects. That brings up Harmon Killebrew, 1 for 2 with the homer. That's a base hit to left. Posey's going to make it to third. And Killebrew has his first hit that was not a home run of the season. Runners at the corners now for Soriano, who is 2 for 2 today. Futurists think they have Grimes on the run. And that's a K for Grimes, his first of the game. So 2 runs for the Futurists has tied the game after 6 at 5-5. Hamels working Rogers Hornsby at the moment. Hornsby 3 for 3 today. That's going to make him 4 for 4 as Betts collects that in right. And Hornsby is at first with a single, moving his average up to 327. Babe Ruth, 1 for 2. And this is hit to right. Betts will make that play. Hornsby will have to stay at first. They want to test the arm of Mookie Betts. Bringing up Bill Terry, looking for that hit to extend his hitting streak. He's 0 for 3 so far. That's a foul. Tomorrow on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sibs channel, we'll have college basketball, Notre Dame at UCLA. 2 top 10 teams doing battle. Terry, 294. Facing a 1-2 count. That is popped up. And Soriano may have ended Cherry's hitting streak. Unless we go into extras or the Sultans find a way for Terry to get another at bat. Wilson is 1 for 2. Hit to third base. Right to Soriano for the 4, side retired, and at the end of 6.5, it's 5-5. Top of the order for the Futurists in the bottom of the 7th, and Mookie Betts is up, hitting .269, 0 for 3 today. That's foul. Count 0-2. That is a grounder, Trammell to Terry, 6-3 for the putout. 1 gone for David Wright, who's looking to break through with a hit. 0 for 3. And hitting .237. Well, that's a walk. If this were the 8th inning, I'd get a pinch runner for him. But instead, we're just going to have Albert Pujols going at it. 1 for 2 today. We're going to do a hit and run. But that's foul. Count will be 2-1. We'll take the hit and run off and just do a conventional hit. That's a walk. A-Rod up with runners at first and second and 1 out. Burley Grimes with a 2.6 walks through 9 innings average has walked 6 per 9 innings so far in his Time Travel League season. And Rodriguez, that's a grounder, a base hit, a double, and that's going to bring home a runner. Right, and it's 6-5 with 1 out. Runners at second and third, Rodriguez and Pujols at second and third, respectively, for Jim Edmonds, who has hit 2 homers today. Can he have a 3-homer day? That's a walk. And Grimes, now in a heap of trouble, as Jerry Reed would say. Prince Fielder, 0 for 2. Parrish will talk to Grimes, try to calm him down. And this is a 4-6-3 double play. And that gets the Sultans out of the 7th. 1 run for the Futurists. We have had runs in every inning except the 1st and the 4th. And at the end of 7, at 6-5 Futurists. Herman is 0 for 2. This is smoke to center. Edmonds will make the play. 1 out. Trammell, 0 for 3, 252. This is hit well to center. Edmonds again makes the play. Parrish, 1 for 2. That's a K for Hamels. No runs on the board for the Sultans in the top of the 8th, so we go to the bottom of the 8th, and Buster Posey with the score 6-5 Futurists. That's a K for Grimes. Killebrew up again, 2 for 3, and he smokes one to left center off the wall, and look at that! Harbin Killebrew with a triple. Moving him to 217 on the year. Obviously, that's his first triple. Soriano at second base, and the wheels turning in the Futurists dugout. I'm going to put Ichiro Suzuki in to bunt.
Pinch hitting for Futurists, Ichiro Suzuki.
And we are going to do what the heck, suicide squeeze. Try to get that run in. But no, they're going to allow Suzuki to go to first on a walk, which is not a bad strategy if you're the Sultans. Mookie Betts 0 for 4 today. Seeing his 5th plate appearance, or at bat. Wilson with the catch of the fly in center. That's going to allow Killebrew to score, and it's up in the 5. We'll try to get Suzuki to second. He's safe. First steal of the year for Ichiro. David Wright 0 for 3. Strike 3. Another strikeout for Burley Grimes. So we need a second baseman, which is going to be Mookie Betts. We're going to put him at second. We're going to put in right field Ichiro. See if I could bring in a stopper. Yeah, we're going to bring in Mariano Rivera to put a stop to this game.
Pitching for Futurists, Mariano Rivera.
Rivera, 2.12 his ERA. He has struggled a little bit in this time travel league where you're facing the best of the best. 2-1, 5 saves, 17 innings pitched. We'll see what he does here. Frisch to right to Pujols, 1 out. Ryan Giles, 1 for 4. That's 2 outs, and this is exactly where you want to be if you're the Futurist. You want to face Rogers Hornsby, who's 4 for 4 today, but if anybody's going to get him out, it might be Mariano Rivera. Futurists only need 1 out. And they get it. And the game is over, and the Futurists win 7-5 on the save by Mariano Rivera. So your loser was Burley Grimes. He goes to 1-4. Cole Hamels with the win goes to 1-0, and Rivera with the save. That is number 6 for him. We had a few homers in this game. Parrish with 1 for the Sultans. Edmonds with 2 for the Futurists. Killebrew with his 3rd. And the MVP of the game, Jim Edmonds. And why wouldn't he be? Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed our broadcast for today. We should be back with another one by week's end. And with that, we will tell you to look forward to our college basketball game tomorrow as the Major League Baseball season starts up between Notre Dame and UCLA from early January 1976. So this has been Big Paulie wishing you all Godspeed and God bless. We'll do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody. Take care.